Hello and welcome back. Now, over the last 6 days, I've been exploring the Silk Road of Uzbekistan. I've traveled from Khiva to Bukhara and through to here in Samarkand. Now, very fortunately, I've only done about 11 hours worth of riding in that time because I've had a few health issues. Now, at the end of the last episode, I was filming at an ancient monument site at the edge of the desert. Now, I'd just ridden 4 hours in the desert to get there in 40-degree heat in my motorbiking kit. I'd basically cooked myself. And I'd really struggled to get that monologue out. Tried it like 8 or 9 times. My thoughts, really struggling to get my thoughts together. I was feeling quite dizzy. Well, just after filming that, I pretty much passed out on one of the caves for about an hour. And very fortunately, another tourist arrived with some extra water for me. And about a 20-minute drive away was a lake that I kind of cooled off in. But unfortunately, the damage was pretty much done. And I really struggled for the next 2 or 3 days with energy. And yeah, I also got a heat rash across my chest, which was quite painful. And then following that, I got a bad case of the runs. Doing number ones where number twos should be happening. Now, I wasn't sure if that was heat exhaustion related or if it was a bug. I'm pretty sure it's a bug because I'm still kind of struggling with it. And yeah, I mean, it was not easy to be riding 11 hours with stomach cramps and needing to go to the toilet at absolutely no notice. But I'm very happy to report I did not shit myself. So yeah, my energy levels are coming back and I really enjoyed taking in the amazing scenery of all these cities and particularly the really unique Islamic architecture. I've got a day off now and I'm walking around this amazing city of Kiva, and it's in the Urdench region on the Amudara River, and it's kind of like this very large oasis in the massive desert because Bukhara, which is the next major city on the Silk Road, is about a 6-hour, 450-kilometer ride again through the desert. So this is an incredible city that was built about 400 years ago. But walking around this place has got me really reflecting, you know, why I did this trip in the first place. It's probably a good time to kind of explain why did I want to motorbike across the world. And the reason is, when I was in my 20s traveling, I kind of got frustrated by like public transport and all the different, you know, tours and stuff. I wanted the ability to kind of go wherever I want and just explore the world. And I loved experiencing different cultures and meeting lots of people. So having your own mode of transport is the ultimate way to do that, and the motorbike was the most suitable for me. So the trip was never about like a self-challenge of can I ride across the world, although the last week very much has felt like that because it's been extremely challenging. It's been all about exploring the world and all the amazing places. So this is quite amazing. On one side you've got water and almost oasis, and then on the other side it's just pure desert. I think I'm on a state border and this guy's not very happy I've stopped, but I had to come for the view. It's amazing. Alrighty, I'm on the way to Bukhara doing another bit of a desert crossing, and woke up this morning with the runs and it's definitely evolved into like proper stomach pains. So yeah, I was feeling a bit shit on the bike, so just literally shit. And then I just pulled over. I've had a nap on this bench, and it is 3:15, middle of the day. It's very hot. I'm struggling to keep liquids in, so yeah, just gonna stay here for a little bit, I think.
And then I met these absolute lunatics who'd ridden all the way from Germany and realised I could no longer complain about my situation at all, given these guys were riding in the middle of the day for 120 kilometres.
So we're exploring the Silk Road city of Bukhara and come across another one of these courtyards. So I found one of these in Kiva and thought it was residential quarters, but my mate Brooke here, who I met at the hotel this morning, and she's also an Aussie, has found out some information about these.
I have indeed. So, this is a madrasa. From the 16th to the 20th centuries, there were students living in these small rooms here, studying the Quran and Islam and such.
So the madrasa is basically a educational, religious building or facility, but you would still get that absolute sense of community with all of the students coming out and no doubt having classes in this open courtyard space, and yeah, just an amazing atmosphere here. Just tried to pull my wallet out to buy a drink, and I thought I'd just share the situation with their currency. So there's hyperinflation and then there's this hyperinflation. It is 1 to 11,500. So this is all the cash I've got. I've got about 2 million, which equates to about £100. It is so confusing when you pay for stuff. You know, handing over like a $10,000 note to buy some food is a very strange feeling.
Yeah, same here. The whole fight or flight. I'm always on the side of the flight.
Here I describe it as Uzbek national sport. It's buzkashi.
Bushkashi.
Buzkashi is its person, it's words. Buz is sheeps. Kashi is a touch. Touch the sheeps.
Right.
For example, here's a sport. Who is the furthest to take is the sheep, and who is furthest go to the round like that. Who is the put it the furthest in this round? He will be the winner.
I was just at the ticket office, and this bloke kind of came up to me and said, Sir, would you like to go up to the top of a minaret? And I'm like, don't think you can. And he goes, no, I have ticket. And yeah, it seems you've got exclusive flights to the door that takes you up here. Pretty crazy. I'm literally sticking my head out the top of one of the minarets. And back down we go. The tight stairs. Woo! Now I've just got access up to the terraces to get a more of a bird's eye view over the courtyard. I was speaking to one of the tour guides that said that this particular madrasa in Samarkand was like the university or the central educational facility within like the Silk Road, or particularly this region. So each of the rooms are much larger than the ones I saw in Kiva or even Bukhara. And they taught more than just religion. Apparently it was geography and any other history and any other kind of subjects of the era, and it was used up until the 1920s, and then they kind of closed it as a university, and then started using it as the markets for trade, and now obviously it's all souvenirs and touristy. I was just walking around and I met this lovely family who heard my English. Yeah, they're quite amazed that I've ridden here by motorbike to Mohammed and Frangus, and yeah, they appreciated the desert crossing and how far it is. And Mohammed here is a builder.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. So it's really cool to be talking to them.
Welcome, Uzbekistan.
Lovely. To wrap my head around how bloody big these are. I mean, talk about a grand entry. It's just epic. So I've just come a little bit outside of Samarkand to find a religious monument before it had been renovated. So a lot of these monuments have been kind of rebuilt and then all the mosaics added to them, largely in the 90s and 2000s. And so yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see them as a ruins, and a lot of them, I saw photos of them where actually the central archway has been missing, but yeah, it's just interesting to see that they all, you know, did kind of see quite a lot of decay and have all been largely rebuilt. So since I've been in Uzbekistan, I haven't really seen any supermarkets and shops. It's been very difficult to kind of buy produce, and I've had to eat out the whole time. Well, I'm here at a bazaar in Samarkand, and this is where they get their fresh food from. Look at all this. It's amazing. So that ends my week exploring the Silk Road. Now, a lot of the ancient monuments they've seen in this episode date back from the 16th century, but really the Silk Road was active for 1500 years before that. Now, as the name suggests, it was originally used for the trading of silk and then spices, gold, and other precious stones. Now, the Silk Road connected Asia with the Middle East, the Mediterranean, and then Europe. So cities such as Shanghai and Beijing in the east, and then in the west, like Cairo and Istanbul. Now, as the route began to gain importance, it was used by merchants to trade really all goods, and then started to be used by travelers. And then you had the transferring of knowledge and new ideas on technology and religion, and cities started to form like Bukhara, Khiva, and Samarkand. Now, Samarkand was actually the largest Silk Road city and arguably therefore the most important. And I had myself thinking at many times, imagine what this would have been like for hundreds of years, and really played such an important role in the development of civilization. Now, the demise of the Silk Road really came about by the rise of the Ottoman Empire and in sea transport, in shipping. So in modern day terms, we've kind of replaced these cities with cities like Singapore, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Amsterdam as like hubs for international travel. And then in terms of knowledge, well, now we have the internet. But yeah, just been a fascinating week, and I've really enjoyed doing some sightseeing and a bit of time off the bike. Now, next stop for me is Tajikistan and going on the Pamir Highway. This is like the holy grail of off-road adventure motorbike riding. So I cannot wait to get back on the bike and explore the mountains.